Hello viewers, it began quietly, one photo, one shared stage, one moment of unity between two of the most influential women in modern Christianity. But for Tasha Cobbs Leonard, that moment would ignite a storm she never saw coming. At 44, after more than a decade of being gospel's safest voice, her name was suddenly tangled in a controversy that stretched far beyond music. Her alignment with Sarah Jakes Roberts and the Woman Evolve movement didn't just spark conversation, it split an entire generation of believers. And behind the smiles, the worship sessions, and the empowering messages, one question grew louder than all the rest. Had Tasha stepped into a divine partnership, or into a spiritual fire she couldn't escape? To understand why her new direction feels so disruptive, you have to go back to where it all began. Long before the conferences and cameras, Tasha was just a young girl in a small Georgia church, the daughter of Bishop Fritz Cobbs, learning that worship wasn't performance, it was surrender. Her childhood was shaped by the sound of old sanctuary pews, her father's preaching, and a quiet awareness that God had marked her life early. Worship was her refuge, the sacred language she turned to before she ever knew the weight of fame. Her rise didn't happen overnight. It came after years of unseen service, directing choirs, leading worship in tiny sanctuaries, pouring her heart into moments few would ever witness. But everything changed in 2013. When Break Every Chain exploded across the world, Tasha went from local worship leader to global phenomenon in a matter of months. The song didn't just chart, it broke through denominational walls. Her voice carried a rawness that felt like deliverance itself, and suddenly she wasn't just singing worship, she was shaping it. Her transparency, her courage to speak about depression and emotional struggles, made millions feel safe in their own battles. Yet behind the applause, a different reality was forming. As her platform expanded, new doors opened, bigger stages, wider audiences, and friendships that pushed her into spaces beyond the traditional church world. Some celebrated her growth, calling her a bridge between generations. Others whispered that the bridge stretched too far, connecting gospel to a culture they felt was drifting from biblical roots. Still, Tasha remained steady, committed to bringing light wherever she felt God led her. But everything shifted the moment her path crossed with Sarah Jakes Roberts. Sarah wasn't just another ministry figure. She was a cultural force, raw, relatable, and unafraid to blend faith with modern storytelling. Her Woman Evolve movement spoke to women who felt unseen, unheard, or unworthy. It was a movement built on transparency, transformation, and a bold reminder that failure didn't cancel purpose. When Tasha appeared on Sarah's stage for the first time, the audience erupted. It felt like destiny, two women, two different callings, one shared message of healing. But what seemed heavenly to some sent shockwaves through the traditional church. The Woman Evolve brand was growing fast, too fast, according to critics. What started as a conference had become a global media empire. Books, podcasts, mentorship programs, fashion, high-production events, Christianity wrapped in modern branding. Supporters said it made faith accessible. Critics said it made faith performative. And when Tasha stepped into that world, she unintentionally became the center of a debate she never asked for. The internet lit up with questions. Was Tasha joining a movement shaped more by empowerment than repentance? Were her worship sessions now part of a ministry that blurred the line between spirituality and self-help? And was her presence strengthening the mission, or giving it legitimacy it hadn't earned? Behind the scenes, pastors debated. Gospel forums dissected teachings. Influencers posted videos analyzing every lyric, every clip, every appearance. Tasha had become more than a singer, she was a symbol, a reflection of where modern ministry might be heading. Still, she stayed silent. No statements, no rebuttals. Only worship. But in a world where silence is interpreted as agreement, that quietness became fuel. Some believed she was compromising. Others believed she was evolving. The divide grew sharper, and through it all, Tasha kept standing alongside Sarah, singing, supporting, and showing up without hesitation. But what came next would shock everyone. As Woman Evolve hit new levels of visibility, the criticism turned into concern. Some leaders claimed the movement placed too much emphasis on confidence and not enough on conviction. They argued it shaped Christianity into a lifestyle, not a calling. Videos circulated analyzing Sarah's messages, comparing them to motivational speeches rather than sermons. And each time Tasha stepped on that stage, the debate reignited. Was she endorsing all of it, or simply doing what she'd always done, ministering wherever God opened a door? What most people missed was the deeper battle unfolding beneath the surface. The controversy wasn't just theological, it was generational. A new wave of women was rising, reshaping leadership, style, and influence in the church. For older pastors, this felt like erosion. For younger believers, it felt like freedom. Tasha was caught in the crossfire, not because she changed her message, but because she embodied the shift happening before their eyes. But even shifts come with consequences. The more the conversation grew, the more intense the scrutiny became. People began asking whether worship in modern spaces was turning into entertainment. Whether ministry built on aesthetics could survive spiritual storms. Whether beloved voices like Tasha's were unintentionally paving the way for a new kind of Christianity, one rooted in feeling rather than faith. And through it all, Tasha faced a spiritual question she had never confronted so publicly. Was she evolving, or drifting? Yet in the heart of the tension lies something undeniable. Every time she lifts her voice, something in the room changes. Her worship still breaks chains. Her presence still brings peace. And maybe that is why this story hits so deeply. Because Tasha Cobbs Leonard isn't just a singer caught in controversy. She's a woman trying to follow God in a world where every move is watched, questioned, and analyzed. In the end, her legacy won't be defined by hashtags or headlines. It will be defined by the women she helped heal, the chains she helped break, and the faith she carried even when the church couldn't agree on her path. She didn't just live through the shift, she became part of it.